welcome back. All right, so it's Sunday. It's kind of the end of our first week of really thumping them out, so I feel pretty good. Today we're actually going to start for Sundays. This is where we do our skills lessons and whatnot, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it, but for the next few months, I'd say like probably about 3 months, we're going to be talking about land navigation, because if you do find yourself in a bad situation and you're stranded somewhere, land navigation is going to be what gets you home. So, and ultimately, when it does come to survival, you're either trying to stay away, or you're trying not to be found, or you're trying to get home. And we're going to go from the aspect of you do want to get home, right? You don't want to be stranded out there in the middle of nowhere and die. So, with that being said, there's several tools that can aid you in land navigation. And the first one that we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about, is the compass. It's a very important tool. It's not the most important tool of survival, but it is a very important tool of survival. It's not one you necessarily need, because if you do understand the sun, you can do a dead reckoning navigation, so you can kind of go in the right direction. But you can't necessarily go in a straight line. And that's where compasses help, because compasses will help you stay in a straight line, because you can actually use a compass to make sure that you're going in the right direction. So, because you're going to have, you can't walk in a straight line, right? If there's a line painted on the ground, maybe, but there's not going to be that in the wild. So if you need to go in a straight line, the best tool that's going to help you is a compass. Now, there's a lot of different types of compasses out there, and when it does come to like the survival type thing, like all these, the compasses that you're going to see, there's going to be mainly 3 types. You're going to have button compasses, which is button compasses. They're all over the place, right? It's like if you get like the survival watch, there's a button compass in there with a whistle. It's something like this power bank here. Well, on the back of the power bank, this is that Punisher power bank we got in the first box from SHTF, and yep, they've got a button compass built into the back of it. So, and just because it's named a button compass doesn't mean that there's others that aren't. This one here that came with a Stealth Angel kit that my sister gave me is really, it's a little bit, it does have degrees on here, but this is essentially a button compass. I mean, this one's a little bit better than that, but that's what it is. Now, those are the most simplistic forms of compasses that you're going to find, are the button compasses. And those will help you. They'll kind of keep you going in somewhat of a straight line, but they're not the best one to have. There's some people go one way or the other on these next 2 compasses, and that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. But another one is a base plate compass, which is similar to this one here. Now, a base plate compass works really well with maps. Sometimes they're called mapping compasses, mountaineering compasses, orienteering compasses. They've got a lot of different names. But one of the key features is that it does have this bevel that moves on it. There will have, on the sides, you're going to have different types of measurements. A lot of times they'll have, this one has a magnifying glass in it. There's others that will have a mirror on it. I don't have one of those. The ones with the mirrors are probably the best of the base plate type compasses. But these are really good, especially if you're working with a map, because you can actually lay these on a map. So, and that's something that we'll get into at a later date, because maps are part of land navigation. So we will be talking extensively about maps. So the fact that you can measure distance on a map with these is one of the reasons why a lot of people will swear by a base plate compass. So, and a lot of times they're either going to be these compasses, like these ones here, they're going to be liquid filled, but some, like this one, are air filled, and they just have basically the needle is just suspended, and all it does is the needle just follows, it's magnetized, it follows the magnetic lines on the earth. So now the last type is going to be a lensatic compass, which is such as this. This is what we used in the military. Now, lensatic compasses, they have like a lot of nice features about them also. This one does have a moving bevel as well. And then you've got like a sight aperture here, and then you've got a magnifying glass. And if you do this just right, you can actually read the compass using your magnifying lens here. But these ones here, these ones are not they're not fast to use. These ones do require a little bit of time when you're using them. But these ones here are very good, and this is what we did use in the military. Now this one here, this is just this is not metal. This is a plastic one. We got this from SHTF as well, but it's extremely similar to the ones that we did use in the military. So, and those ones, there's several ways that you can hold this correctly, and we'll go into that in a later video. But the key takeaway from all this is that compasses, they'll help you keep going in a straight line. One more thing about compasses before we wrap this video up, though, is that a lot of times you'll get a compass and you may have like a stuck needle, or it just might not work right, which does happen. So, and one thing, like when it does come to survival, a lot of people will recommend that you have 2 of everything, right? 2 knives, 2 this, 2 that, because if you lose one, well, now you're down to 1, and then if you lose that, you have none. So if you only start with 1 and you lose it, then you're just out. When it comes to compasses, me personally, I would recommend if you're going to be traveling somewhere, if you're out camping, hiking, whatnot, and I would recommend having 3. And I'll explain why right now, because let's say that you open up your lensatic compass here, right? And let's say that the way that the sun is in the, let's say that the sun is setting, and your compass it doesn't seem like it's pointing in the right direction. So you have another compass. Well, and these are pointing the same direction. But let's say that one of these was sticking, right? And it's possible for them to stick. Like something, could be causing them to stick, right? So let's say that they're pointing in different directions. Which one is right? And let's be honest, if you're using this to go in a straight line, if you're off even by a little bit, you're not going to end up where you want to be. So you have 2 compasses. They both are pointing in different directions. If you have your 3rd compass, you can use this to figure out which one of those, because it's very unlikely that all 3 of them are going to be malfunctioning. And so if you have 3, then it's like if something's not making sense, you take out your 3rd one, and then you can double check it. And then that way you can know which one isn't working right, and you can set that off to the side to figure out what's going on. So that's why I recommend 3 compasses whenever you're... And and the thing is like if you have one of these, a lot of people will make fun of these because they're just kind of like gimmicky stuff to put on stuff. And they are. But that right there, you have a compass that you don't even need to worry about. So it's like, okay, if that one works and this one, you're not sure, well, you can use this one and see what's going on. So a lot of times, I know that there's a joke out there with a lot of people that it's high quality when they build it with a compass. So they put compasses in everything these days. So, but this right here, if you just use this to just verify which one of these is not working right, it's serving its purpose. So, but that's it. That's where we're going to start with compasses. Next week we're going to go into a little bit. We'll probably start with the lensatic compass because that's the one that I do know the best. We're going to start talking about the lensatic compass. We're going to break this down. We're going to get outside. We're going to actually use it. We're going to explain how it works, why it works, and what you can do with this. And then we'll move on to the orienteering, the base plate. we're not really going to do much with the button ones anymore because we already know about them. They're good. You may see these, and yeah, they're good to have if you have nothing else, but I would highly recommend one of these two. And these ones, you can get these, you know, at Walmart for relatively cheap. You can get one of these at Walmart for like $14.95. It's not the best that there is. I know that you can get one from Brigade Quartermaster is about $80. It's all metal. This one is plastic, so this one is not as durable as what we did have in the military. But compasses are readily available everywhere. So go out and get yourself a few. You don't have to spend a lot, but compasses, you want to have a couple of them. Like I said, I recommend 3. But if you buy something that has one in it that serves another purpose, hey, you have a compass. You can make fun of these all you want, but if it works, then it works. But that's it. Anyway, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Give me that thumbs up. You want to go ahead and leave a comment. I am trying to reply to all of my comments. It's been crazy, but I mean, hey, that's what we're here for. So until then, keep on prepping.